Hello again from my front porch. I am actually in Columbus, Ohio right now. I'm here from my hotel room at the, I don't know, what is this, Spring Hill Suites, I think? Oh, wow. Yeah, I've been here all week, and not in this hotel, actually. We were in northern Kentucky, and then we came through Cincinnati. Now we're here in Columbus, and we're here doing reviews, 2-month reviews with individuals going through our Field Leadership Level 1 program, the Crew Chief program, as it finally gets called, because when they complete the whole program, they become a certified crew chief. And so that's the shorthand term that it's been given. We've talked about it before. I told you about that. But we're here. I and a couple of members of my team that we're here doing these, what I fondly call tribunals, and we are sitting these guys down one at a time for a good 2 hours. And then we are trying to evaluate how they've been doing, because they have these on-the-job tasks they're supposed to have been working on for the last 2 months. And so we want to, we bring them in and we confirm, have you actually been doing what you were supposed to be doing, and show us proof, show us validation. And we really hold their feet to the fire. Now we celebrate with them the successes too. It's not like it's just hit them over the head with stuff. But if they don't quite have what we're looking for, well, then they don't quite have it. We'll push them on that. So anyway, that's what we've been doing, and it's tiring. It's a lot of time, especially because these are construction guys, so they don't want to do them in the evenings. They want to do them. They're used to they're used to already being at work at 6:30 in the morning and working. So we actually have started our sessions at 7 a.m., 6:30 a.m. That means Paul getting up earlier than that, to be ready for that, and that's a lot of fun. Oh. But it has been interesting to hear some of their stuff. There have been some really cool, wonderful, exciting, creative things these guys are doing. It's great to see the growth and development that they have going on. Very exciting for that. And then well, I'll just say it this way. There has been a consistent thread that we have heard this week that echoes what I've heard from our frontline field leaders in other parts of the country as well. And I'm going to share that with you right now. And I am absolutely certain it is going to stir up a hornet's nest, which is unfortunate because I think it's actually a pretty cool thing. I really do. And some of you, I hope, will find it equally cool. But some of you may not like it as much. I'm sorry, I had nothing I can do for you on that front, because if you have a problem with what I'm about to share, you're not going to find defense from me. Sorry, you're just not going to. Anyway, so here's the gist of it. Our company, like most construction companies, has seen a massive explosion in having members of our workforce be of Hispanic descent. Now, I really don't like using labels for large groups of people. And so let me tell you, when I'm saying Hispanic, let me tell you what I mean by that, because just without context, I think it's actually maybe a rather insulting, derogatory term, because, it's like, people who look like me want to just take everybody who looks Mexican, or whatever stupid definition they come up with, and say, those Hispanic people. That I'm not talking about that kind of level of ignorance. I'm talking about somebody who that Spanish is their primary language, and they may know some English, they may know some functional English, but when they're speaking to you in English, their brain is still trying to translate it into Spanish, because that's how they understand, is in Spanish. And odds are they were not born in the United States. They might have been, but odds are they're not. And odds are they're also not from Mexico. At least my experience has been with our Spanish-speaking workforce, that they come from Cuba and Guatemala and El Salvador and Honduras and Argentina and Brazil and you name it, all over South and Central America. So, the notion that it's all these Mexicans flooding across the border is ignorant stupidity, to be blunt. These individuals, these guys, these are great guys. These are great guys, and let me tell you just how great they are. Because there's been this mantra of ignorance and racism that has reared its head time and again, and I'm sure it's still out there being uttered by somebody. Somebody probably is going to actually say it in response to this video, in fact. Problem is, all them Mexicans, because they'll use that as the generic dismissive term, or we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's say they say Hispanic. Problem with all them Hispanics is that they're coming into our country, United States, and they're taking our jobs. They may be right. I know that's probably not what you thought I was going to say, but hold on. The reason I say they may be right is because those Hispanic workers are actually doing the work. Here's what I mean. As I said, we were talking to these frontline field leaders about a variety of different things in their leadership styles and what they're doing. And several of them talked about having Hispanic members of their workforce. In fact, some of them are leading teams that are completely Hispanic, and the leader is in the same boat I am. They know very little, if any, Spanish, which makes the communication challenging. And so there are ways that they're seeking to overcome that. And my team, we help support them in trying to accomplish some of that. But here's the interesting thing. These leaders all sang praise after praise after praise without, not spurred on by me or any member of my team. It was not in response to any questions. In fact, it wasn't even in response to any of the job application tasks that I'm doing. We do have one job application task that asks how they're dealing with diverse differences on their job, which is a diversity related question. But that's not specifically about race. When we cover that topic in the program, we talk about how language is a difference, that culture is a difference, age is a difference, gender is a difference, sexual orientation is a difference. But you know what? My sports team preference is a difference. My politics is a difference. Any number of things. We have a whole list of stuff we go through that are all ways that we can be divided from one another. We have differences. So when we are talking about this as a job application task, we're not just zeroing in on the Caucasian versus Hispanic or whatever nonsense you would lump like that. It could be literally any kind of differences. But in those discussions, and not just for that question, but in the overall discussions, these field leaders, every one of them that this was and it was most of them actually that we met with this week, but not all of them, but most of them, that they would say things like, these are the best. Oh, we must be near train tracks. I didn't know that. That's really cool. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but I just heard, oh no, it can't be a train because it went by too fast. It was really short. Darn. Anyway, I love trains. Sorry, squirrel. But these field leaders, they all sang the praises of these Hispanic workers because of how hardworking and diligent these workers are. In fact, one of them, I wish I had him sitting here, but I wouldn't have wanted to embarrass him. I wouldn't, honestly. And I don't say it facetiously, and he might not have been embarrassed, but it didn't feel appropriate. But in the course of our meeting, he honestly and openly said, 5 years ago, I would have been one of those guys that would have dug his heels in and said, I ain't working with those people. Oh, I'll quit before I'll work with those people. And yet now today, he is literally leading a crew of all Hispanic workers, and he says they are the best crew he has ever led. He says, they show up on time, ready to work. When they take breaks or take lunch, they don't lollygag getting back to work. They get up and get right back to work. Now, there is communication issue in some cases that he has to work a little more diligently to make sure they understand the instructions. But once they got it, once they know what they're supposed to do, he said, good luck holding them back. They're just like, boom, then they get right to it, and they will not let up until they're done. He doesn't hear any complaints out of them. He doesn't hear any frustrations out of them. It's not that they may not have any, but they're there to work. And that's what they do. And he says, I got to say, that when I've had Caucasian crews, that's not the way they function. There's always members of those crews that show up late, or the classic is, if the work starts at 7 o'clock, they'll show up at 7 o'clock. Say, that's when I start to get paid. That's when I show up at the job site, and then I'm going to find my tools, and I'm going to get ready, and then I'll make my way to the work site, and I'll get to work. And it's probably a good 15, 20 minutes lost at least. Whereas the Hispanic workers that he's got, he says they all show up 15, 20 minutes early before 7 o'clock to make sure they gather up all their tools and stuff. Now, they don't start working before 7 o'clock, but they make sure they are ready to begin working at 7 o'clock. When he says the other crews that he's led in the past, lunch gets done, he's like, all right, let's get back to work. And then, the guys all want to go to the bathroom. Oh, hold on. And then, hold on, I got to get this tool. Hold on, I got to, and again, you have wasted time before they're getting actually back to doing work. He says his Hispanic crew, he sits there and eats lunch with them. And when it's time to get back to work, he doesn't even have to say anything. He gets up, puts his lunch away, starts heading back to the job site, and poof, there they all are with him. No arguments, no complaints, no hold on a minute, boss, I got to take it. They're just all right there with him and getting right back to work. He said it's the most incredible thing. And remember, this is a guy who said 5 years ago he would have been, they're trying to take our jobs. Now he's got this crew, and that one of them went home wasn't home. They went on vacation with their family to Florida, and he came back and brought a T-shirt back for the leader because he appreciated him. And the leader, they were having a conversation at lunch one day, and he made a joke about, we're working really. I think y'all should come over to my house this weekend and we'll have barbecue. Well, he was saying it is kind of a funny offhanded joke, but about 9 a.m. Saturday morning, these vehicles in a caravan show up, loaded up with his workers, and they've got a cooler full of meat, and they're there to grill. And they brought some games, they brought all the seasonings to make the stuff. They did all the grilling, and he said it was the best meat ever. He said his wife was so impressed. It was the best food she's ever had, and these guys are great. These are the workers that on their Saturday, they come hang out with the boss, because the boss said, let's celebrate at my house at the barbecue, and they took it serious. So, and he thought that was fantastic too. He didn't have any problem with it. I thought, but again, this is a guy who not all that long ago would have not been that guy at all. But now he sees that these guys are incredible, that they are dynamos. And I asked him, would you ever consider replacing any of those guys with a Caucasian worker? And he said, well, obviously, if for some reason that Hispanic guy had to leave, and I needed a replacement, and I had a Caucasian worker that could step in, sure, yeah, and I absolutely I would bring him in. Not, I would hope that they could do the job as well as the Hispanic guy was doing, but I have to have the people, whatever. And I said, no, that wasn't the question. I said, what would you? What I'm saying is, would you replace the Hispanic guy? Would you let him go so that you could hire a Caucasian guy? Because again, if you have the mindset like he says he used to have, that would be a logical. And he looked at me and said, oh, no, I wouldn't do that. No. I would not dream of that, because I know with these guys, the kind of work I'm getting, these guys are really, really good. Why would I do that? I'd be shooting myself in the foot. And I thought, wow, that is cool. That is an awesome answer. Because even when given the opportunity to say, I would jettison this Hispanic guy in favor of a white guy, He was not interested in taking that bait. So, you know what that means? If you're a guy who looks like me and you're concerned that a guy who looks Hispanic is taking your job, there's a good chance he is. But the reason he's taking your job is because you're not doing it. You're not rising to the occasion. You're not stepping up to the plate. You've gotten lazy. That's right, I said it. You want your job? You got to earn it. There's no guarantee that you have a job just because you're born in this country. Just like you shouldn't be denied a job because you weren't. Whoever can do the job the best gets the job. That's the way it should be. And like it or not, that's the way it is. And I think it's working out really well because the work is getting done. It's getting done by people who care about the work they're doing. And if you want to reverse that course, if you want to impact it in some way, if you want to reclaim the job you think you should have, you better be able to work as hard as the people who've taken it from you. Because they didn't take it. You lost it. You got to work hard to get it back. Told you I was going to stir up a hornet's nest because I really believe this is true. Now, don't get me wrong. I've not become a convert for support of illegal immigration. That's not it at all. That's not what I'm saying. But we throw the baby out with the bathwater because we all too often get hung up on this whole, well, they're Hispanic and so therefore, they're all illegals. That's not even remotely true. Stop judging people. Stop making assumptions about people. And stop complaining because somebody else got something you don't got if you were not willing to do the work they're doing to have it. And with that, I'll see y'all next time from my front porch.